Just to introduce myself, my name is Zbyszek. I know it can be hard to pronounce, but that's how it is with Polish name. I come from Poland, from Krakow, and I'm a member and founder of Nausicaa Educational Foundation. And this is a very little NGO that works in the city of Krakow and does a couple of European and local projects. And by a series of weird coincidences, we got involved into the LARP community a few years ago. We used to be like normal trainers and educators working like designing training courses, and then like we saw this is a cool tool, you know, you play on the roles, you pick up a costume and so on. You can squeeze so much of, you know, impact out of it, so that's nice. But it was one of many tools, and after that somehow, after project to project, also we got into the Portal community, which is from the Southeastern Europe, and somehow this LARP became the mainframe for us, and we are not still decided if we are gonna be educators or LARPers in the first instance, but it connects in so many places. I am here, doing Nausicaa with Patricia, who is on this photo, and I think she was 1 year ago here, and some of you can know Patty. I am here for the first time at the Knutepunkt also, so hi, and I want to get to know all of you, but not now during the presentation. Patty Patty wanted to come and say hello, but she's expecting a child. We are expecting a child, and she cannot travel by plane any longer. Otherwise, she would surely be here herself. So I'm speaking for both of us, and it's both of us mainly running the foundation. So I say it's not a huge company. The plan for today is talk about what kinds of projects are offered by the Erasmus Plus and European Solidarity Corps programs. And I don't want to define what is education, what are those programs. I just want to go into the practical examples and show you some links. Because I think you are more educators, most of you, and you know this stuff very well. Although I don't know what is the level of how familiar you are with the programs. I guess some of you work them on daily basis, and for some of you it's like a strange stuff. So let's start. And instead of definitions, I have made a little research on the Erasmus Plus result platform, and I was looking by the filters how many projects out of 169,000 projects submitted to the Erasmus Plus project, how many tackled the LARP. And I just entered the LARP in the filter of the project summary. So how many people put the word LARP in the most important description of their project? And this is the first question. Please guess how many projects have LARP in their description?
3.
Out of 169,000.
5? 7, 10.
100.
Exactly 100.
Whoa. Whoa. That was.
But these numbers can be changing. If you add one more, this nice and round number of 100 will change. So I'll just give you a link later, and you can check it by yourself. Yesterday it was 100. What are those those 100 projects in the Erasmus program can be submitted to 5 sectors. Here you see the school education, higher education, so all the universities, vocational, I mean practitioner training, so concrete jobs here, youth, and adult education. And adult education is this rather lifelong learning, not concrete jobs. And how you guess in which sectors those 100 projects which have LARP were submitted?
And higher education.
So when I say Erasmus to my friends or people on the streets, they usually saw this movie when students do, let's say, have fun in Barcelona. Most of you have seen it. So that's the first connotation with Erasmus Plus, and that's the higher education sector. Actually, one, if any, had higher education when it comes to LARPing. It was more than 80% of them are youth, The second would go the adult education. So this for people who are like trying to be youth, but they're over 30, but they have no particular skills. That's kind of like my definition of adult education. In vocational training, almost nothing, and in higher education, almost nothing. Although I guess it would be nice to change this situation. LARP could be applied to many fields. Actually, how it is done, what projects people submit, they connect it mostly with youth and youth work, because that's also the Polish traditional mindset fits to this statistics that games are for children. And when we do games, also when we propose them to the municipality, so okay, we will pay you to do games, and we will bring you the kids, and you will do the games with kids. That's how it is perceived, and that's how the statistics work. I would actually like to change it, and we are actually doing a little shift from the youth to the adult education sector here. But next question, which topics are the most often tackled by those projects that people already submitted to the Erasmus project?
Diversity.
Yes.
Friendships and how to behave like relationally.
In a way, yeah.
Democracy.
Yeah, of course, it jumps in.
Climate.
Climate is popular, yes, now. And I think there will be more and more connected with the climate.
What about integration?
Yeah, refugees.
Refugees or
Migration issues
migration.
and intercultural competences also go there. The most common is youth work and participation. So if you do something with youth work and this is just the main goal of it. Creativity and culture is the second. Inclusion, one of the major words of the keywords of the program, is here. And you can also do just for innovative educational methods. So if just to show you, this is like how many projects had this in their priorities out of the 100 projects. So you can actually go around like with whatever you like in here. One of the last questions, out of various entities who can write a project and submit a project, which ones are the most common when it comes to LARP within Erasmus? So a lot of different entities can submit projects, as well as NGOs, but yes, over 80% are NGOs. These are the people who have time or the nerve to write all those long applications and go through this stuff. From which countries? And this is a very big surprise for me. I was recently checking the statistics. Which countries apply the most for LARP-related projects to the Erasmus program?
Nordics?
Nordic? Yeah. No?
No.
Holland is a surprise for me because I don't know all of them somehow, but Holland has the most. And I mean, this is as coordinators of the programs. Germany comes the second, and it's rather the Central Europe than the Western and Nordic Europe. I don't know why, but this is how the statistics go. Yeah. I'm jumping, from point to point. Do you have any questions now? I will also have time for questions later. So to combine, I showed you some facts about the Erasmus Plus project without defining and the sources, and just to compare about the European Solidarity Corps, which is another program run by the Commission, European Commission. And this is a pretty new thing, so it has like only a few years of history. But you can also search the keyword LARP in the results of the projects. And what I found is that only 8 projects with the European Solidarity Corps is about LARPing, and also most of them are in Poland. I don't know why. Like, we are involved in 2 out of 3, but I hope this is spreading more, and I already know that some friends from Croatia, Netherlands, and others are submitting this because it can also be connected. And European Solidarity Corps is mostly about volunteering in different circumstances, long term or short term. And this is in comparison to Erasmus, which also go for adults. This is for people under 30, which makes problems sometimes, especially for us in Krakow. There are different. I wanted to show you what types. So, do you know? Have any of you done a project within the European Solidarity Corps? No. So I guess this is less known than the Erasmus Plus. So just to be brief, there are 3 types of actions or projects or opportunities in this program, and the first is called the Solidarity Project, which is like getting a group of young people on the local level without any international mobilities and doing some regular events or actions which has a social or educational purpose. So in this case, doing a series of local LARPs totally fits this. And if those guys are young, we do not actually need to stress out the educational goals because we are supporting a local group of young people. And those programs are like little paperwork, easy to get, little budget, but it can actually work because the youngsters can do this for them, run it for themselves. Bigger projects are volunteering projects, which are like from the basis is that you get a group like from 10 to 40 young people for a month or 2 months before a big event, and they do something big together. So you receive the money to fund their accommodation, flights, tutors, coaches, and everything, and you receive a group of like a massive group of volunteers. And if they are well led and organized, they actually impact the activity a lot. We did it for the Jewish Culture Festival in Krakow. I can imagine this applied to bigger LARP as well. And the last kind of opportunity from this program is the quality label. This is the long-term volunteers, so you receive a few, not many, but just a few, 1, 2, 3, 4 volunteers for a half a year or 1 a year, and they actually help you get inside your organization. So if you're doing regular LARPs, you can actually use this to have like a few supporters or volunteers or helpers paid by the European Union, and this is good if they are actually benefiting and learning something on the way, and this actually can be impactful if you structure it well, which not everyone does. But let's go to a few case studies. I'm running out of time. So just summing up, because I wanted to show you one case study from the field that we do to each of these opportunities that I mapped in the presentation. So I just explained you what are the solidarity projects, volunteering and quality label from the European Solidarity Corps, and I have no idea why the logotype is, reversed in this way, but anyways, those institutions do not pay me to make this presentation, so I'm not bounded to have any opinions. A quick recap of this Erasmus Plus. How many of you have done Erasmus Plus projects, coordinated them? Okay, so it's less than a half, I guess. Okay, I expected more. So just to be to make it known, there are the key actions 1 and 2, and while 1 is just a mobility of young, not necessarily young, a mobility of people meeting for a week, 10 days in one place for a reason, while those key action 2 strategic partnerships are the projects for 1 to 3 years, with like a longer purpose, a lot of reporting, but also including money for regular administration and local work. So actually, the first is quite simple and short, and the second, it can actually make a living for the people working in the NGOs. In the mobilities, there are youth exchanges and training courses, and people often mislead them, because what a lot of us have been to a youth exchange. Who of you have been as a young person to a Erasmus Plus youth exchange? You know that they meet, they dance, they party a lot, they make new connections, and that's super fun. That's what happens. And we have a lot of, you know, people changing their countries. We have some EU international babies after that, and that's a lot of fun. And that's also the first thing that comes to the mind when you hear about the Erasmus Plus. So this is possible. Those are actually connected, focused, that they have fun, and they spend good time together. While there are also training courses when there is no age limit, so people like over 50, 60, 70 can join as well. And training courses are with professional trainers focused on particular agenda. This is another time of mobility, like sponsored in a different way. So there are different ways you can use the program. So it's one is to provide some experience to the young people, and also a LARP is possible here, because if they want to have fun, make new friends, maybe experience some life-changing, you know, educational games, LARP is one of the best things you can get them. And I've seen actually a few day LARPs implemented within those youth exchanges. If you want to go deeper into the LARP design, 3 minutes left, okay. Deeper into the design or training the LARP producers, designers, educators, training courses are available for us like within this program. And if you want, another key action is those strategic partnerships, which collect, like small scale, collect just 2 organizations for a year is enough. Big scale partnerships are like it's a longer thing, which actually needs to be written well, it takes time, but actually can make a big change. So the positive thing about the small scale partnerships is that you can bring new organizations, actually new organizations that have never done it, get additional points when the applications are assessed. While on the big scale partnerships, the budget is bigger, but then you get more points if you are already experienced with the program. 2 minutes, so I will skip the case studies. I knew that I will not make it in time, that I prepared, but we were running as trainers or formally as Nausicaa, all of those possible kinds connected to LARPs, and it fits to a totally like different framework. LARP can be adapted to different circumstances. This is like example that our friends who were our participants established their own NGOs, and then we invited them for strategic partnerships as partners, and like they start to receive some like money to start and run up their organizations and also design LARPs with us. This is like a bigger, LARP for Climate is a bigger strategic partnerships that we are doing now in Krakow. LARP Sundays, we host regular LARP events because of this local solidarity projects. We've seen a massive like volunteer action doing LARPs, intergenerational LARPs, exploring the history of a town in Poland, and that's amazing, and I want to go much more into that, but it will be yearly done, so I'm already waiting for the next year. Links repeated. I linked you the what I was exploring. Why? Because I promised in the curriculum that I will send you like the links to the partners, and I think these are the best links. If you go directly to the project results pages of the both programs, click the filter LARP, and you actually see you can filter them by countries, by additional keywords, and you can actually find who was already doing the projects. All the contacts to all the partners and coordinators are on those web pages. So if you're interested to see who in Europe is actually doing this and what are the results, everything should be connected into this one pages. So instead of many links, I just posted it, these two for you. Can I show it how it looks? Very simple. Search project keyword LARP, and you can see 100 projects, and you can explore them by their names, by their coordinators. You can add a lot of keywords if you're interested into, you know, getting in touch in this program. But I don't have time for more. Any quick questions from you? I'm totally open, you know, I'm until the end of Knutepunkt around here, and I'm very open to, you know, talk about projects or share everything I know, because I've spent the last 4 years on it. Yes?
You were in the project portal. Is that the results or is that the applications? Because I'm not clear if that 100 number is for people who actually receive funding or apply for funding.
This is the 100 is the number of projects that received funding, but they are completed and ongoing projects, both of them. Most of them is completed already. I have no information about how many were submitted.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.